It's Ron Reader Digs the Universe. I'm Ron Reader, and this is Ron Reader Digs the Universe, and tonight, gun massacres and the conservative death cult. There was another gun massacre over the weekend, this one in Sacramento at a bar, 6 dead, 12 wounded. These days, these gun massacres are coming at us so often, so plentifully, that it's almost pointless in remarking on any one single instance. And that is why we should continually take these moments to remind ourselves that there is one and only one reason that these things are coming at us so fast and furiously, and that is that conservatives throw up so much opposition against common sense gun regulation, and we must also remember that their explanations for this opposition, it's total bullshit. You know, I mean, the whole only criminals will have guns angle is just insulting. First, no law ever gets 100% compliance. It's like saying we shouldn't have speeding laws because, then only the speeders are going to be speeding. And I have tried to explain to conservatives personally, myself, the whole supply and demand thing about gun regulations, that fewer guns in the legal market necessarily translates into fewer guns in the black market. I mean, you know, guns are generally manufactured legally, here in the US, and we can shut this shit down, and we should shut this shit down, but no, conservatives need their goddamn guns, and they don't care if those guns are purchased with American blood. Or rather, they do care about all of this death, but for them, it's a feature, not a bug. There's been a great deal of analysis over the years of the right-wing gun obsession, racism, toxic masculinity, deep-seated insecurity about and an unwillingness to understand the modern era. Michael Moore's notion of the American culture of fear from his movie Bowling for Columbine, all of these things are true, I think, but when you step back a little bit, when you consider the gun obsession of conservatives in tandem with a few other conservative obsessions, an even more frightening picture of the right wing emerges. Think about a few things. Think about QAnon's assertion that Democrats kill children in order to drink their sweet adrenochrome, a drug that exists only in the realm of fiction. Think about anti-abortion activists storing fetuses at their headquarters. Think about rabid conservative support for the death penalty. Think about Kyle Rittenhouse's superstar status among conservatives. Think about the enormous popularity among conservatives of Mel Gibson's The Passion of the Christ, a film once accurately described by South Park's Stan Marsh as a snuff flick. Think about the conservative and evangelical notion of the end times, a veritable orgy of death for God. And think about the 500,000, 500,000 COVID deaths in the US, about half of all COVID deaths in the US, that happened because conservatives decided that public health and medical science are liberal. 500,000. Conservatives are, without a doubt, a death cult now. Widespread support for gun massacres is only a part of that. Conservatives love death and killing and dying just across the board. To be a conservative is to worship death. everything they say and do must be understood in this context. Death intertwines the entire conservative body of ideas. There is no conservative view that isn't grounded in a love of death. Usually of outsiders, black people, liberals, gay people, etc. But as the pandemic has recently shown us, conservatives gotta die too. They are not legitimate American political players. We must not forget what fucked up freaks conservatives are now. It's like, Jesus Christ, they worship death. It's nuts. I'm Ron Reader, and this has been Ron Reader Digs the Universe. Join me, Ron Reader, again next week for another episode of Ron Reader Digs the Universe.